Hello everybody, it's me Nate, aka Double Dog, and I'm back with another game review. This time I'm reviewing Lost Soul Aside. It was developed by Ultra Zero Games and published by Sony Interactive Entertainment and released on August 29th of 2025 for the PlayStation 5 and PC. Now, what exactly is this game? Well, in a nutshell, it's one of these, almost sort of like a Final Fantasy-esque style hack and slasher where you play as Kaiser, the scruff generic Cloud Strife wannabe that is fighting against these enemies known as the Void Racks, basically alien demons or whatever that end up coming down and swallowing people's souls. So basically you go on this epic quest because your sister loses her soul because you think this mountain has all the souls in there, and you go through your ultimate MacGuffin quest to try to save her soul and everybody else's. Now, the thing I have to point out about this game is I don't want to be too mean on it, but I kind of have to, but I want to do a good review as well. This was created originally by one man named Yang Bing. That's all the way back. I mean, it was started this in 2014, and it was originally supposed to be a PlayStation 4 game. But I guess he realized after he was trying to make it, it takes a lot more than just one person to make a video game these days. So that's when he formed Ultra Zero Games and ended up with a team of 40 people to help him make this title. Now, honestly, for the fact that it's been in development hell for over 10 plus years, and it's pretty much a very small, independent, studio that made this, originating from one guy who's working on it. I'm impressed of how decent it is. It's fair. It's okay. It's really not that good though, because when you're playing this, it basically consists of you going around hacking and slashing, beating the crap out of people, progressing to an area and moving on. Now, one thing I will give credit where credit is due is the fact that there's 4 different main weapon types you can use in this game that you can switch on the fly. First of all, you start off with your standard issue sword. You have some special moves with it. Then you can get a great sword, a pole blade, and last, which most people don't talk about, is the scythe. No one talks about it. The Sith scythe, whatever you want, tomato. But most people don't talk about that one, and that's actually kind of the better weapon. It is after, the end of the game, though, so that's kind of why I think most people didn't get through this game, so they never realized there was a fourth. But they all do play differently, and mechanically, they have different mechanics, so I do appreciate the fact that they actually have a decent setup for at least the weapons. Now, as for the overall game itself, it's very, very, very linear. It's really, it kind of reminds me of Final Fantasy 13 in the gameplay department, really. Honestly, with level design, what I mean is because it's like small corridors, and you may get in an area that looks large, but there's all kinds of shit in your way to where you can't go anywhere except this one path. And along the way, you might find some items you collect and stuff like that, but it's go to an area, then meet up with a character is there basically just as to sell you merchandise and also to save your game. So that's one problem I have right from the start, is they don't allow you to save the game whenever you want. You have to get to these areas and with the character to save with. And I don't like that. They're too far and in between, and they throw just way too much at you. Because it consists, as you go through, you talk to these characters. There's really no side stories or nothing. You talk to the NPCs. They really don't do anything other than add something to what they call a story with this. But you just go from one point to the next, and along the way, you just kill enemies, and that's really about it. I mean, they did say they tried to, say that their inspiration was based off of Devil May Cry, Final Fantasy, and even a little bit of Bayonetta. And I can say here and honestly say this game is Aldi brand Devil May Cry. I know that's kind of mean, but that's what it feels like to me. It's like Aldi brand Devil May Cry. It's obviously supposed to play like a Devil May Cry, but in fighting mechanics are somewhat fluid, but honestly, it gets so repetitive. And I got some good things to say about the game, and I got bad things. So let's be nice and say some of the good things. The music. I like the music in this. The music is really, really good. I like it. It's definitely not, Expedition 33 kind of music, but it's not bad. And some of the levels look absolutely fantastic. And seriously, some of the levels look fantastic. And I do like the enemy designs in this. It's got some pretty cool looking enemies. And you got to remember, this was made from a very small team of people that were not experienced. And I do know that Yang Bing had no idea how to make a damn game. And it kind of shows. I'm shocked that they actually got this much of a game built, and it works. But like I said, 11 years to make this. I mean, come on. Now, as for cons, I'm trying to be nice about this, but I have to, be honest. The gameplay repetition loop is like some areas you go through with your platforming things. You just jump from one platform to another, kill an orb, kill another orb, kill a third orb, and go to the next area. And it's rinse and repeat like that with all the platforming. And in between that, naturally, then they have enemies they throw at you with occasional character that talks way too long. The voice acting, honestly, isn't bad in this, but I just don't really give a crap about any of these characters. None of them really stand out as having a personality, other than I can say you could tell they're, like, once again, it's Aldi brand Devil May Cry. And some of the characters to me look like, that kind of sort of looks like Bayonetta if she was an anime girl. So, I mean, honestly, the character designs aren't bad either. They're just not great, and it's going to sound weird. Whenever you go through a scene, the music, it cuts out. Like, literally, if it goes to another scene, it's not like the music fades away. It just literally abruptly cuts. And it's like that through the whole game. Hopefully they can come out with a patch, but this game's been out for a little while now, and there's been no patch to fix that. And the other thing that's really going to sound sad about this is I think the main problem with this game is that it tries too much to be Devil May Cry and Bayonetta. But it just comes off as a mediocre. It really, really does. There's too many damn fights in this game. I know that sounds shocking, but there's way too many fights in this. You'll go to an area and you'll fight these enemies that have long ass fucking bars of health, and it's a slog to get through it. And I mean, they even went back and like I forgot to say this is your Kaiser main guy, honestly, he also has a little dragon buddy named Arena, which is a dumbass name, which helps you by doing like super moves and stuff like that, and morphing into different weapons, which that's cool, but there's, once again, it's just not enough of it in this. And you combine that with just stacking all these bosses against you. I mean, I call it multi-boss madness, the way they designed this game. You fight enemy after enemy after enemy, and then you fight a boss with a huge-ass fucking health bar that goes from Idaho to Texas. It's that big. It's huge. And then, not only that, there's multi-part battles. And if you die in any of this, guess what? You start all the way over at the very beginning at your last save point, which is too far and few in between. Yes, they give you enough health items to get through, but still, it's just not fun. To me, it wasn't fun. Plus, the story arc is busted as hell. They ruin it within the first, 5 minutes of the game, and then they have this intriguing thing. It's generic, but intriguing, where you're teaming up with this group of people that, like Final Fantasy VII, to go underground and take down the king and all this other stuff. And then out of the blue, these aliens just show up and start sucking everyone's soul, and then it changes over into you going on a quest to save your sister's soul. Honestly, I can't say I like the story in this at all. The characters, like I said, other than a couple of them, the main character and stuff is boring. He just doesn't seem to have any flavor to him. And the other thing is, it's weird. 11 years to make this game, and I swear to God, they originally made this for PlayStation 4 and then scrapped it and worked over on PlayStation 5, because there are some levels in this you look that you go, this is PlayStation 3 type graphics. I mean, bad. I mean, it looks like shit. And then you get to the next area and it looks fantastic. So you can tell that this game was pieced together, hobbled together just to get something out. That's why it was delayed multiple times. But honestly, I do have to give credit where credit's due. For a small team, they were able to make a game, but it's passable. But the main mechanics in it are boring, and it's a slog to play through. Plus, they want $50 for this, $50, $60. So it's not a $70 game, but it's still like a $60 game. And it's about 15 to 20 hours long. And I think it's about 10 hours too long, is what I think. Because at 15 to 20 hours long, honestly, it felt like 80 hours when I finally got to the end of this thing. It was not fun. It hurt my hands to play this. There's just too much they're throwing at you constantly, in between very, very poor, drawn-out plot points and MacGuffin after MacGuffin to lead you on your quest. Only thing I can't say is, like I said, some of the enemy designs, some of the character designs, and some of the levels actually looked really, really cool. But other than that, I'm sorry. I have to say this. Can I recommend Lost Soul Aside to someone who is a fan of Devil May Cry? Wait until it goes on sale. I know this is a small development team, and I know they busted their butt and took them, like I said, over 11 years to make this thing, but I cannot sit here and say that I think it's worth $60. I really don't. Honestly, I think they had trouble. Yang Bing did not know what the hell he was doing, being a game director and a studio director. Honestly, and for a team of only 40 people, it's next to impossible to make a game anymore with less than like a couple hundred people. But like I said, it's average. There's nothing really special about it, and the fights are just too long and drawn out. Too repetitious, not enough variety, even with the neat weapon swap design and even your skill tree. And I honestly cannot say I recommend this. It's not a terrible game. It's far from it. It's functioning. It actually plays somewhat decent. But to me, it just doesn't have any heart or soul to it. You know, I mean, all souls aside here, people. But I have to say that this is a little bit too big of a project for this group. They should not have went this grand. They should have focused on a much smaller story and better mechanics. I think it would have been a much better game. But for what it is, I don't think it's worth $60, but it is still somewhat playable. But for me, it just wasn't enjoyable. This was Nate, aka Devil Dog, and I want to thank each and every single one of you for watching these videos. Please leave in the comments below if you agree or disagree with anything I said about this game. If there's anything you want to point out that I missed or anything that you think I got wrong, please let me know in the comments below, and I will answer each and every single one of them. And of course, here at Devil Dog Gaming, we always end our videos by saying, have fun, play hard, and remember, people, the devil is in the details. Peace out until next time.